Woo. morning, Mr. Crispy.
Howdy.
So, what did happen to the game?
Well, so people's stations and capital ships were getting stuck in the low LOD model and not working. And they tried to fix it, and they fixed some stuff, like Solo's station is fixed. But any station that isn't fixed, we just got to get an ore refund for, and then we craft up the stuff and build it again.
So that means some of our stations are broken?
The one on the moon's surface has gone into LOD.
What is LOD, man?
Level of detail, layer of detail. It's when when the ship is all chunky before it pops in.
Mm-hmm.
That's its low layer detail model.
Oh, okay. And the one on the moon surface has just permanently transformed into a cubicle.
Yeah, it's all blocky. Actually, I haven't been since the thing, but Solo said he was there and that it wasn't working. Because they just tried to fix it yesterday.
What about Moon Starbase Alpha?
It's fine. So is the cap. We have a thruster on the cap now.
But we don't have a ship
We don't
which
have nav
can
chips yet?
actually make it move.
Yeah, we need some nav chips. We're real close. I don't know if you've looked at the thing today.
Nah, I didn't. I just didn't feel it, Mr. Krabs.
It's all good.
You know this feeling when you're just not feeling it and you don't want to step up with some weird old mood?
Well, on the plus side, I mean, the more days you're not feeling it, the more progress will be made when you come back, you know? So, when you get back, it's like we'll have all this progress done. We're like, whoa, cool.
I played with Magic Man on scrap mechanics on the side.
Heck yeah. How'd that go? Is he doing
That
okay?
did go incredible because he had this awesome flying base ship, but he built it in a way that it lagged out the entire game.
Oh.
So for him it was like, yeah, until they finish this and until they finish this and until they make it playable again and yada yada yada. And I was just like, dude, how about you remove those parts? They are probably all the lag and you try again. So 15 minutes later he was like, no way! And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, now the thing is playable. So basically he just had, in a dumb way, he had too many moving parts on his thing. Like, if you looked at it, you wouldn't even consider them moving parts, but the game did. And even though it just were these stupid shocks, like the thing where he lands on, the game was like, no. He even made them so stiff they were not moving at all, but the whole game was like dropping to, well, not many frames per second as soon as he pulled that thing off of the lift. But I'm glad it's usable now because he actually has 20 people to subscribe to his airship because it's so big and detailed. Well, after we looked over his spaceship, he was like, yeah, you know, maybe I come back to Starbase to give you at least your materials and your money back.
Tell him not to worry about that.
Yeah, I told him, like, by now we are, like, so stacked with money and all of that shit. Like, that 1 million that he has doesn't really matter as well as the materials he has. Like,
Yeah.
I told him I would rather be happy if he decided one day to, I don't know, build and play with us there for chilling's sake. But I didn't want to force him or coerce him, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I would definitely tell him to hang on to his stuff. He's more likely to come back if he still has stuff. And we don't need it. I mean, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
I'm dancing a delicate dance right now of trying to fit all the stacks of ore needed into my station inventory because I'm hitting the stack limit.
Fucking Moonbase, like... Like... Did you put the bases for the Moonbase up? Did you have won it?
Hmm?
Did you have won the Moonbase?
I had one. One on the moon surface. As far as I know, our belt base is fine too. The moon pants.
My question here was, did you F1 the Moonbase on the moon?
Oh, I have to do a lot of math before I can F1 that. Like, they want me to process it as an ore refund, so I've got to calculate how much ore I need to ask for.
Yeah, I kind of got frustrated alone over the fact that they didn't react to my F1s at all.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long time on F1s for a little while. I'm still waiting on hearing back about that resto machine, or reconstruction machine.
Yeah, but the vibe that the creators are giving off right now goes more in the direction the game will fall into something like a eternal sleep.
Well, at least it'll be there for me. They've said they're going to keep the servers running, and that server costs are real low for this game, so as long as they keep the servers on.
Crispy doesn't care if they have updates as long as they keep the server on. Oh man. I see you managed to invite even more people into this group.
Oh yeah. I can't stop.
It's very funny because all of the other crews are actually really small crews. You know of the people who play longer and whatnot because they don't want to share their shit.
Ah. I don't mind helping people out. I feel like we need players for this game to be successful, and for that to happen, the game needs to be friendly. Friendly to new players. But yeah, I am going to be filing an F1 for that base. I'm going to use the hangar hall at Starbase Alpha to do my estimate on the ore. Because that one's like one whole grid, right?
That's not only one whole grid, it's also down. Like, just imagine that would have happened to Starbase Alpha.
Yeah, that would have been a hell of an ore refund if that happened to Starbase Alpha.
And the thing is, which is the most, how do you say, like, how can they look at you and expect you to actually, like, you know, do the math on how much ore you put into your base? Like, what the fuck, bruh? I was constantly farming. Do you really think I counted the ore while I was going?
Well, I'm gonna ballpark it, but it's gonna be based on the hangar hall, the factory hall, and then the rest of it's just Vocarium, right? So I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna estimate the factory hall, because we just expanded the factory hall, so I got a good idea how big that is.
There are always three factors in games.
Mm-hmm.
One factor is the grinding factor, which is basically time.
Mm-hmm.
One factor is the ore you get out of it. And one factor is the money you made along the way for your goals. You can't calculate the money you made along for your goals out of that thing, so they don't know what it's actually worth for us, A. B, they can't refund your time. And C, to have you calculate the actual worth of the base, that's just, how do I say this? It's not very friendly. You put a lot of your time and other players too in that base, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna refund you what the base is worth, not the time of the actual digging and you know, the stuff you actually did there.
Well, here's how I look at it, right? Is we're getting the digging back for free because we still have that base. We still have a safe zone. The safe zone one is fine. we're gonna get a whole new base for free. Except this base isn't gonna have the LP bug. So I mean, we can just set up our base 1 kilometer from our old base and just hop stuff back and forth. It's no issue. We can just mine at our old base.
I'm just saying it's ridiculous of that person whoever said it's just the ore refund and you have to calculate it.
Well, so the alternative was rolling the universe back. So that either they roll the universe back a few weeks and then they really can't refund us for our time, or they have people file ore refunds if they're basic. But yeah, for me, a game consists of a few things, and none of them are about like the in-game money. It's just about the gameplay. The primary gameplay is mining an asteroid. You know. And then there's a secondary gameplay loop, selling your and buying new ships and stuff. Tertiary gameplay loop, creating a large organization to help do that. But I can see how it'd be frustrating for people.
It's not frustrating. It's like we have a mistake and we made the mistake. For some reason your shit doesn't work anymore and now you need to do something so you get it back. Bruh. That's like, imagine somebody throws a stone into your window and your window breaks. And you're like, what the fuck, looking out of your broken window. And that person is like, count the glass shards, then put the glass back together and tell me how much glass you needed for that glass, and then come back to me. And that person leaves without giving you any information when they're gonna contact you back.
Look, I get why that would be annoying. I don't feel like this is like that. I mean, I don't know, but
definitely feel like this.
This game, the price you buy is that stuff will just disappear, and you got to file an F1 ticket. It's an early access.
Yeah, but the main game is too expensive to have them do something like that to the players.
It's half, half the cost of a AAA title.
What?
It's half the cost of a AAA title? The game? You said the game is too expensive?
Man. Like, if you make a early access game that expensive, you better watch that you don't have that kind of mistakes, you know. No offense. I mean, you're not creating the game.
I don't know. I didn't think it was expensive.
Like the other day, I bought a game for what? $1.99. And alone from being able to contact the person who's creating it, it feels way better.
Okay.
So once you join the server and the person is like, yeah, I'm working on this project alone, but if you have any ideas what could make this game greater, let me know. And you can actually just friggin' write your opinion to him.
Okay. I don't know. I still think this game is better than any other game I've played. I mean, the fact that I spent like 14 hours a day over the past 2 weeks playing it.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I don't want to take a crap on your thing, you know? It's more like the creators of your thing took a crap on you, and that is what bothers me.
It's the price I buy. I've certainly made peace with it.
Why do they always want you to have a ore refund instead of, okay, let's look at the size of your base, let's look how much time you invested and get you, how do you say, excused for that?
Well, I think giving you the ore refund is supposed to be making up for the lost time by giving you the extra research points. Because they could just give you the items back, but that would not compensate you for your time.
Yeah, but it makes no sense if you have everything that's in comparison, or, well, not in comparison, but everything that is leveled with those points. If you have that already, it makes no sense for you. You just get the resources back.
Then I give them to one of the other people in my company, and they craft up the base, and then they get a bunch of points. Or you know, maybe I've already, because this problem's been going on for a few weeks, maybe I've already built a new base and I take that ore and I use it to make the Solar Pioneer or something else instead, you know?
By the way, how much is the Solar Pioneer? And
We're
how much
about 5 mil credits off. His project's about 43 million total. But it's just ice and Vicarium at this point, so I'm just getting it right now.
Ice and Vicarium?
Yeah, 3,000 stacks, 3,400 stacks of ice for this thing, because of how much propellant it carries. That's why I'm hitting the stack limit in my station. I've been having to manage my stacks. Because this thing total is 5,034 stacks of stuff. But we'll have it up in probably today. I'll certainly be crafting the parts starting today. I need to post something in officer chat at some point asking, once we have it, what we're doing with it. Like, what moon do we go to first?
Because you want to go to a moon which is not reachable via portal?
Well, I might stop by that moon on the way to the other moons to pick up coordinates.
Sounds a lot like danger, like going with such expensive ship close to a PvP zone.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's every place but the Eos belt is a PvP zone, but if I don't take the gate, I'm not going to run into anybody.
Oh, I'll do it then.
So one thing they mentioned in this update they posted about today, they said evidently there's an issue with capital ship hangars, so we'll have to be careful with that.
Howdy. Oh god. Hello, Mr. Crispy. Howdy. Now I can hear you. I accidentally pressed the wrong button. And wait, coffee water, making coffee, and then I'm gonna take it in. Maybe if we have a new moon base on the moon surface, we should put it a little bit nearer to the craters where you can find the real good shit.
Wonder if we could put it in a crater.
I don't think we can. I mean, the description says we can.
Oh.
But we could still try. I mean, the game is probably buggy enough for it to work anyway. Know what I mean?
We're on a tear today.
Well, it's either being happy of bugs or being fucked up by bugs. What choice do I got? Then I'd rather look at the nice aspect of bugs, something that might work which is not intended to work.
I don't know. I feel like I don't get any of the bugs.
I don't get annoyed by bugs either. I get annoyed by lazy game developers. You know, a bug is cool if it's there for like, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks. But after that, it should be fixed. Because otherwise it just looks like a game developer is not playing his own game. Like, you work in a supermarket and the supervisor is not partaking of the work at all and tells you how to do it better and faster, yet he never did it. You know, then you go like, yeah, you can do this and this way faster, and he wants you to have it some weird old way you don't want to.
Again, that doesn't seem like an apt comparison to this, because this isn't a manager trying to tell me how to do my job better? I don't know. I just feel like they're trying their hardest. I have worked on developing a game, and it is difficult. And it would be really difficult if you released an alpha and had thousands of people screaming at you all the time.
What kind of game was that?
So, I mean, I made Drop Zone way back in the day. That was for the calculator, but I didn't run into much in the way of development hiccups in that. Then I'm trying to make a game where
Oh god, my cat is eating my garden again. Hold up. Why are you trying to eat my fucking garden? Really, cat? Really? Then the cat is like, oh, let me eat your garden. And then my mom comes up and be like, yeah, but she knows what she's doing and what's good for her. And then I gotta go to the freaking cat hospital again because the cat ate some poisonous plant and she obviously doesn't know what's good for her. I'm sorry. Okay, so you helped with that one game, and what was with the other game?
So the other game I wanted to make, and it's still stuck in development hell, is I want to make a game. Kind of, you ever see the movie Wanted with Angelina Jolie and she can like shoot bullets and curve them in the air around stuff?
Oh god.
So I wanted to make a game where you like. Say what?
It's totally impossible. That
Yes.
myth was busted years ago.
Sure. Actually, well, so they're developing smart bullets that flex in the middle and are laser guided. So this is set in the future. This is not set now. And so you'd be some sort of like assassin for the police, and your job is to take out like high-level criminals or whatever. So you shoot from like miles away this smart weapon and guide the bullet to the person, to the target. And you like play as the bullet for the most part. You know, it'd be like slow-mo and flying through a crowded scene, and like you could cause havoc on the way to your target, like mess up somebody's coffee cup in their hand or something. Just fun stuff. Be little side goals. But it's hard, because that one I'd need a custom engine for, and it's hard to make. I think I need a custom engine.
I understand where you're going with this. It was always very fun to steer the Nikita rocket in Metal Gear Solid. So...
Oh, yeah.
Or in Loadout, if you had rockets that you could see from their point out.
I miss Loadout.
I miss Loadout too. Loadout was a great game.
I really liked my healing, like, rocket grenade launcher thing.
I had a what's the heavy weapon called? The machine gun?
Machine gun. Okay.
I had a machine gun which had bouncing, also rubber bullets, and they were either burning or electricity, and I literally just shot a wave of burning or a wave of electricity at my enemies, and it would always work. If they would come too close, they were done for. Only weakness I had were people with snipers that played very good. Fun thing is this weird 199 game, which I had so much fun with.
Yeah.
Here, Magic Man bought it too, unknowingly, that I bought it to the same time. This ship looks awesome, but it's very, very big for scrap mechanics. It's actually a flying base. It's not really considered a flyer to me. It's more of a flying base. I don't know if that's really feasible in terms of fuel. But he said he was interested in my less fuel using system. It's just a bunch of logic gates hooked up into a loop, basically, which fire the thruster multiple times after each other, and for some reason the flyer doesn't consume fuel as heavy when you do that.
So it's like pulsing lasers? Or like pulsing lasers used to do in this game?
Kind of. It has a trade back if you do that. If you do that, you lose speed. Like you... Where you go from 1 to 100 in a few seconds with a permanent firing thruster, the pulsing thrusters kind of generate more... How do you say?
Oh, I meant the pulsing lasers. Like, mining pulse?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's the same, but
Oh,
with
okay.
a thruster.
And
But it just doesn't have as much power as a thruster that you are firing all the time. So what you really want to do in scrap mechanics, if you build a feasible flyer, is you want to have a hybrid. You want to have some engines that work on the pulse system, and you want to have some engines that continuously fire. Because it's like two factors. It's like how fast you can go overall from point A to point B, and it's how the thrusters take it. So it's one time the logic box hooked up to each other, and one times the max speed you get with pulsing and a little of the continuous firing thrusters. You have to imagine the faster you are, the less fuel you need. It's kind of ridiculous.
well, so that was what the system Marky came up with, the hyperpulse system, where it could pulse way faster than YOLO. evidently was supposed to work faster than a laser that was on all the time. I never played with it. It doesn't work now because they changed pulsing entirely. But it sounds like getting more efficiency out of less laser fire. It sounds like, why are these tanks not full? Bizarre. It's scandalous.
But that's also the difference in between a thruster that works with the... Oh shit, I don't know the English words for this. Is this you know, you have one times the vicious cycle where you have the exhaust of the thruster basically fueling its own intake of air.
Is that the afterburner?
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's a vicious cycle that continues itself, but it's basically a thruster which is firing all the time. And then you have the pulse engine, which is actually a pulse thruster, and that has multiple little explosions, so pulses, but it uses less fuel for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just way louder. Did you see those pulse engines?
I haven't seen them, no.
Bruh, there's an old man in real life who builds pulse engines, and because they are so simple, he builds all kinds of shit out of them, like a go-kart or a little scooter or I don't know, a skateboard with a pulse engine, and it's funny because he takes them out to the desert and actually tries them and makes a video of it. Was it Rocket Man?
I don't know.
Yeah, his channel is called Robot Maddox, and he's a very, very old guy trying pulse engines on everything. On bicycles, on go-karts, on scooters. And let me tell you, for an old guy, he looks pretty good doing it.
Without saving, yes. I said exit without saving. Why would you ask me if I want to save if I hit exit without saving?
This is so fucking ridiculous. You mind if I send you the link?
I don't mind.
As soon as he starts the engine, you just know how ridiculous it is.
Hey everybody, Bob Maddox and Rocket Man here, out in the desert doing a first run on the new Dragon cart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire it up. I'm going to stand back so you can kind of see the fire and everything.
The guy in the video looks surprisingly.
And I'm going to hop in, shut it off, hop in.
Just with the hair, facial hair.
Just a short one because
Well, it's not even the right color, but
I don't have
that's
the
like
brakes
the style.
and I don't have my seatbelts. So anyway, hang on, here we go.
Sorry, no seatbelt? Sorry, I can't hear you over his car in a second.
It's the Pulse engine.
That's loud. Rocket Man.
So that's a loud engine, the Pulse engine. Crispy chestnut mining asteroids.
Crispy
Starbase.
chestnuts, mining royalty, being Starbase. Finds him till he's paranoid up in your face.
He got many STDs from hookers on the street. That is crispy.
Woo! That's why his nuts are crispy on your chest, yeah. Woo!
You.
And I said, hell no, bitch, cause you'd have a dick in your mouth.
Crispy chestnuts, discoverer of undiscovered sexually transmitted disease. We buy them directly off the internet and put them into a shelf. Nah, not like you think. God damn it. What do you think? Like he's gonna go out there and get them manually? No, he just has those little, glass vials.
Reminds me of that old webcomic where it's Ash Ketchum from Pokemon talking to Dr. Elm or whatever, Professor Elm, and he's like, Ash, there's no shame with catching venereal disease, but if you don't stop at this rate, you're gonna catch them all.
Oh god.
I found out I didn't put the captain ship restaurant pointing backwards, but I put it on pointing backwards anyway because I thought you'd be like disliking it if it was not pointing in a way that made sense.
I mean, if Solo was right and we need the thruster to steer or to move the thing, we would kind of be fucked if you put it on there like a smokestack.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I don't know how we would steer with it anyway, because there's just one thruster for the ship. But, yeah, I asked around, and people were like, yeah, none of my thrusters point backwards. I was like, oh. But I went ahead and pointed it backwards, because... even though it was a little harder, just because I knew... Well, because my assumption was you'd like it better.
Yes, I like it a little harder.
We got beams down the whole thing. We got platforms around it a little bit. Once we get nav chips, all I need to do is put Carnite in the Carnite tank and Exorium in the Exorium tank, and we'll be good to go. Unless those tanks are already full. Maybe they're full when I craft them, I don't know. This is going to be a challenge.
Magic sure was happy that I turned the ship from unplayable to good frame rate. And that just by one fucking look at it. Like there are certain titles in the game. Suspensions, pistons, and bearings. And if you use them in the wrong way, the game says, nope, you have too many parts. And now I'm gonna go very negative. Yeah, I just told him I'm gonna chill with you first, because I promised him yesterday when I got off, I was like... After the first fix of his ship, I started playing, what was it? Vampire Survivors? And I kinda got stuck on there until I had everything again. I'm just missing one thing in Vampire Survivors, and that bites my ego.
My buddy's got Vampire Survivors. Well, actually, I haven't really hung out with that guy in a while, but he's got Vampire Survivors, and he says he enjoyed it a lot.
Bruh, it's like... I don't know how to explain this to you.
The game?
It's old school game. It's very easy to understand, but there are weird things hidden in this game, and it gets only weirder and weirder. So the last thing they added was the moon, whatever map, and it's just underwater, I guess. If we do it correctly, basically fight an elder deity which warps reality. Then you get an item, what you are not supposed to have, after the level is over. And then you get new items from the... It's really weird. It warps reality now.
Sounds weird.
Whatever they intended to do, in my opinion, they managed to do. Oh, the panels, the resource panels are actually showing stuff now.
Yeah, everything's connected. Which, that conduit shouldn't work in the condition it's in, but it's working. See the structural beams in place?
It doesn't look much different from what I did. Ooh.
Not even with the big thruster that we didn't have on there before?
Well, that's kinda different, but it's not connected.
It is. Oh, not connected to the network?
Uh-huh.
Right, yeah. Cable doesn't run that far back just yet.
Cable?
I need to make another trip out there now that I've got more stuff.
The supply conduits are are cables or what?
Yeah. So with the supply conduits, you just run them down the ship and then you put conduit nexuses in them. And then you use the nexuses to attach to everything wirelessly. It says there's an expansion available for the capital ship. Does it say that for you?
Station expansion available.
Yeah, but at the top left, does it say you're at Pizza Express?
Pizza Express.
So-
Yeah, but it says station expansion available. Do you need to get the ship out of the hangar to do that, as far as I understood?
Yeah, I thought that was the case.
Because I cannot expand it in here. It just
Okay.
says Pizza Express and then station expansion.
Well, that's cool.
Wait. Base Alpha, Base Blue, Moonbase 1, Moonbase Chris, Moon 10, Pizza Express. Pizza Express and Chris Base Alpha are the ones I have still in my command. Wait, Lulu also has a capital ship?
Yes.
Bukarian and Indian, that was the inner cut, Corrodian, and the stuff I gave you last time. I still have a bunch of materials at Chris Base Alpha that I could give you.
Okay.
Yeah, I still have a little bit more, but most of it should now be in the Ghidorah. You know, at the station in Ghidorah. Well, the Ghidorah.
Couple minutes. I gotta do doctor's appointment, and then be back after work. Probably only be in for a couple hours, you know.
It's okay, man. Take your time. I still have to do things with magic.
Word.
So everything that didn't go into the Ghidorah is in the factory hall.
Okay.
Just about to say, money is not my thing. I didn't make money. I only made ores and gave them to you or craft them away directly.
Weird.
So can you only teleport with the weird capital ship, or can it actually drive somewhat with its thruster?
You can only warp right now with the cap ship. You can't drive it with its thruster. Be nifty. Just plow through some asteroids with that thing.
Nah, it's more like inevitably if we want to get it out and we have the chip maker, you know, then we can also do the upgrades. But right now, I'm not able to give it its well-deserved expansions because it's still in the hangar.
So I guess the first nav chip I'll make is right there near Starbase Alpha.
So we can just drive out, see what the expansion does and all the other crap when it's outside.
Yeah.
At first I thought like, you've been on so much for the last times that Crispy's probably gonna be like, oh no, where's Belzakid? But then I thought, nah, Crispy's too chill for that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want this to be like a really strings attached kind of place, you know? It's like, if you gotta do something else, especially if you gotta do something else for your mental health, it's like, whatever, go do it. You know, you having a rough time in Starbase? Yeah, I get it. It sucks to play a game that's really, really buggy sometimes.
That's not it. It's just like I have to have the feeling that I can safely turn away from a game for a while without them people being saw patch bitches.
Yeah, well, I don't think you're gonna find many people here being too.
How do you
stuck
call
with
it if a German crowd doesn't cheer? Crispy, do you know the answer?
I don't.
It's called the sauerkraut.
I get it.
I still think that joke is hilarious. As well as, where do sicknesses come from? Germany. Why Germany? They are all them germs.
Germany.
Even better, many germs.